Hello and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Hello readers, thanks for listening. Apart from the usual plea for ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and for you to get in touch via hello@billowinghilltop.com or through social media, I don't have any other news or information, so let us push on with episode 276 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, The Volley and the Ivy. Good evening everybody, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
That sound of chewing you can hear in the background is Johnny trying to chew his way out of the broom cupboard. It isn't really. It is in fact the locksmith that we've had to bring in to try and free Johnny from the broom cupboard, eating crisps. Thanks, Pamela. I'm here with the usual crowd. Lucas, you're going to have to head off. Christmas is coming. Very close now. What is it now? Blimey, it's next week.
No,
You have to head off to the North Pole to do whatever it is that you do.
Stop it.
We still haven't stuck it together. You go off to the North Pole every year. You wear an awful lot of red and white clothing.
Where do the spiders fit in?
Yeah, that's the bit I'm stuck with. Maybe that's how they
turn
managed
back
to,
into elves at midnight.
Oh,
back into elves. Lucas.
elvy spiders.
It's all getting a bit creepy.
Elves turn into spiders because...
I don't know.
Okay, well, let's just...
Doesn't work.
Science in it.
Let's park that there. Now,
Do you want some spider news, by the way?
spider news. Spider news. Lucas, give us some spider news.
Especially for Dan, this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so some researchers discovered this cave in Europe, not in Australia or somewhere far away in Europe.
Erp.
Sulfur cave, where they reckon 100 square meters, this cave, 110,000 spiders all living together.
Oh, I've seen this.
Nice.
And there's like a thing that looks like a rock wall, and the guy prods at it, and it's not a rock wall,
No.
it's just a giant spider pile. Yeah.
So for some reason, this sulfur attracts all these flies, and so these spiders just need to live there, and they basically
World's
get free
biggest
food.
spider's web discovered in cave.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100,000
yeah.
spiders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, Dan. It's not there anymore.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, this year I've gone big on Christmas for you.
Nice. Awesome. Is that what you sent me in the post?
Yeah.
Well, and the post is, sort of
Insufficient.
Post. If you hear the sound of an
Courier.
articulated lorry, that reversing noise, and then screams, it's like the reverse of Holidays Are Coming. That's your present. So, with Dan, obviously, so you can hear, and with Lucas, we've got Paul here, the technical half
wizardry.
machine, the other half machine, and Graham. Why is Graham? Oh, Graham, blowing his Viking horn. Now, we left things in the Temple of Bann Shivu after a protracted and quite painful session of
Indecision.
you lot talking and me talking and all of us just talking and
Nothing happening.
But to try and recap as best as I can,
Nothing
you
happened.
holed up in Lashona's manse.
Yes.
You asked your three
A
questions
fine manse.
of the great eye, Tonge, the Eye of Wisdom. The orrery projected itself into a giant solar system, hearth system. You asked three questions that, frankly, I've already forgotten, but they were relatively relevant. And then you decided that what you might do, rather than take a long rest at midnight, is that you would venture out and see if you could bite off one of the various challenges that lay for you in the city of Frostanger before you took a long rest. The theory being, take on something that you could handle now, and then you could take a long rest after and be freshly shaved, showered, and toweled down before your confrontation with Kias.
What's going to happen?
The best laid plans.
All that.
At 2 a.m, you emerged from Lashona's manse, and you were met by Vajus, Bacrus's wizardly lieutenant. And Vajus has encouraged you to join him. You've hustled north, it's a 6-7 minute walk, to the Temple of Bann Shivu, which is in the northern part of Frostanger, where the hobgoblin troops who are using it as a command post are pinned down by a sniper to the west of the temple, stopping them emerging from the temple and heading towards the stadium and the western quarters of the city, which is where the great ziggurat is. Additionally, there are citizens pinned down by this sniper, and we think we've firmly established that rescuing citizens from evil Greeblies is something that will be helpful in your final struggle with Kias, depowering his misery levels, something like that. That's been explained by Hesty. So, you entered the temple, you scurried in through a side entrance, there are troops everywhere, the temple is dominated by a great fighting pit, just like the fighting pit you found all those weeks ago when you were just mere tiny little, I think you were second level, something like that. in the Temple of Bann Shivu in the Dark Cathedral. Sessions all along has felt that this was the right thing to do. He felt a sort of visceral draw. Do you remember, Sessions, when you were in the Thorn Vale and you knew that there was an area of the cave you felt you ought to visit? Likewise, there was a point where you were travelling through the Timber Dark, or at least through the Shadow Plane. It's the same sort of compulsion you feel. And you have approached this fighting pit, drawn to it by whatever this energy is. And the great statue of Bann Shivu that dominates the centre of the fighting pit, with Bakras and various troops all kind of in a kind of sparring melee in that pit, from it has shot a semi-transparent, semi-projection. I think last week, Paul, you described it as R2-D2 and Princess Leia, which is a good way of putting it. From this statue has projected an aspect of the Queen Marshal Bann Shivu that has roared a challenge at you from its giant chompy mouth. But we're not going to get into that now, because what we're going to do now is concentrate on Parker. Ooh. If it is, in fact, the real Parker.
Why me?
Why not?
Has woken up. Parker, we're in a bit of a phase of people being drawn to things.
Yeah.
To your left, you can see Sessions starting to act a little strangely and start to float towards the fighting pit. You presume it's a fighting pit. You can hear the sounds of jousting and leaping and Bakras being annoying. And you can also hear shock and whatever to your left, maybe as this aspect is projected from the statue. To your right, however, there is an area to the eastern end of the nave of the Temple of Bann Shivu, a rotunda of mirrors, Parker, that you espy as you enter. The function of it seems to be to, like a hall of mirrors, to multiply oneself. Bann Shivu is Queen Marshal of the Howling Horde. A single soldier, you think, standing within the rotunda would be multiplied into a horde of itself. Seems to be a sort of devotional thing.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like that looks like a place that you might want to have a bit of a look at, Parker. Do you want to go and have a look at it, Parker?
Well, why not?
Well, it is exactly
Might
as I
as well
described.
give in to it.
There are other hobgoblin troops availing themselves of this facility, and it is quite extraordinary. You stand in the centre of this rotunda, and there are markings on the floor about different places that you can stand, and it multiplies you out into this, as it were, infinite series of yourselves. So if you're standing there with 3 hobgoblin troops, as you look around you, it feels like you're standing in a circle surrounded by a horde of a howling horde.
It's like the Children's Memorial in Yad Vashem.
The hobgoblins occasionally do in fact howl, and the acoustic properties of the rotunda reinforce that howling. So you get this very strange experience of being surrounded by an infinite horde of hobgoblin warriors, the roars of all thousands of them echoing around you. But as you stand there, 4 mirrors are not acting for you like the mirrors are acting for everyone else. Let us go through those 4 mirrors, Parker. You see some visions. See, hear, experience, whatever. Roll a d4. It's the pyramid-y shaped one.
Yeah.
1. You hear a voice you kind of remember. Is it from the ziggurat in Kuluth Mar, where you experienced many visions? There was a moment in Kuluth Mar where you were taken through a series of visions that led to the Age of Worms, and a couple of them, you think, were not as yet fulfilled. They were like preconditions for the Age of Worms to take place. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, I remember that happening, but I can't remember exactly what the visions were themselves.
One of them was
Episode
on the eve of
90
the Age
or
of...
something.
It was a while ago. On the eve of the Age of Worms, a hero of dread shall gift a city to the dead. The voice speaks in your mind, and you see in that mirror Zeech's palace, but it is abandoned to Kia ghouls. You know, like estate agents or like America's most luxurious homes. They do that speed through thing where you kind of zoom through corridors and rooms and all that. You're zooming through the palace and you end up in the throne room of that palace. The whole palace is abandoned to Kia ghouls. One of them is sitting on that throne, and as you zoom in on it, its head flips open like a pedal bin, and there's a beginning of a screech, and then the vision is over. Roll a d6.
3.
Okay. Again, it's the same voice speaking in your head, the voice you remember from Kuluth Mar. It's another one of these visions that you were told were preconditions. A tripartite spirit once again becomes one, and at its advice are the mighty undone. You've always thought that was something to do with the Ebon Triad, the conjoining of the aspects of Bann Shivu, Asmodee, and the Grey Woodsman. But as the voice still rings in your mind, you see yourselves, you and your fellow slayers, as you stood there and reunited the three parts of the spirit of Rabadabadas.
Yeah.
Of the Rubber-Dubber-Dob?
Oh, you know him?
No.
Oh. As Rabadabadas' spirit comes together, you realise that was the tripartite spirit referred to in the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it's another condition that has been fulfilled, and you become certain that the Age of Worms is imminent. Now roll a d6 again.
5.
You see a vision of Kios standing before a dark monolith. You see a strange, indistinct, trilaterally symmetric form floating towards him, its taloned hand outstretched, and you see Kios recoil in fear.
Oh, is that the hand of Thingy?
The hand of Thingy. Of course, years and years have been spent on developing this adventure, and they came up with the hand of Thingy. It's a shame, but hey, it'll do. And then the final mirror, Parker. You see a slim figure wreathed in shadows and sitting at a table. Before the figure is a drug kettle. The figure spoons calamanthus powder into the chamber of the kettle, and it quickly caramelizes into its straw-coloured liquid form. The figure siphons off the liquid into a glass flask. But as the flask fills, you see that the liquid is not calamanthus at all, but a viscous, acid blue fluid. The flask is stoppered. The figure leans forward just enough for you to see that it has one green and one grey eye. It crushes the flask in its fist, and the world vanishes in a burst of white fire. And you're back in the room. The mirrors are as normal. The goblins are howling around you. You look to your left where you see Sessions. Sessions, what would you like to do? How would you like to handle the interaction with this aspect? It's challenging you to join it in the pit.
I guess I'll join it in the pit.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Not really, but
If you float down into the pit, the others are scattered. But Cross is watching. He's such a braggart.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that his mask has slipped. He's bamboozled, befuddled, and you think a bit terrified. Bann Shivu is his deity. Something seriously weird is going on here.
Mm-hmm.
The other hobgoblin soldiers are backed up against the wall. One of them is doing that Star Wars climb out of the pit fear thing that people do in Star Wars. This aspect, which is a bit like, what's the ghost in Ghostbusters, the green one? Slimer.
Mm-hmm.
Slimer.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that semi-transparent kind of quality. It rushes at you. It smashes into you. There is a burst of light, and you and it are combined, Sessions. Your nature has been changed.
Again.
Should I tell you about your change of nature? I think I should.
Yes, I guess so.
You gained the war domain.
Mm-hmm.
You were a cleric of Misfortune, the Lady Luck. And then you became a cleric of both Misfortune, the Lady Luck, and the Grey Woodsman. And as a result, your coin of fortune transformed from a coin with snakes on one face and ladders on the other to a coin with snakes on one face and an axe, a great axe on the other. Well, now your coin has got three sides. It's got two sides physically, but if you flip it, you realize that there are actually three sides. And now there is a side that bears the emblem of the Queen Marshal, which is a shield pierced by a glaive. You gain the glaive as an option with your spiritual weapon. It works exactly the same way that your spiritual weapon currently works, but you add an extra d10 at all levels. So whatever it is that you take as your standard damage from your spiritual weapon, you add a d10 to that damage. One other thing, you've already got fog lamp eyes, Sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you have a giant jumpy mouth, tombstone teeth, and you have gained a bite attack at your standard melee attack bonus for 3d12 chompy damage. Now Sessions seems to be part Grey Woodsman, part Bann Shivu, and part the Lady Luck Misfortune.
So I get silly visions, and Sessions gets
get silly
tech.
He gets giant teeth, a weird coin, and some new spells.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're unchanged, Sessions. Your mind
Tech.
and everything else, and all your hopes and dreams and fears and all of that, they're all the same. You're still floaty.
Still floaty. I have a
You've
bite
just got
for
a
an
very,
attack.
very big man. Maybe your voice has changed a bit.
Excellent.
Hello. Don't worry, I'm just the same old Sessions. Right, now what you want to do? That's enough weird, predestined roleplay shit.
What I want to do is climb up to the highest point of this temple and see if there's a lookout down the street of a dozen smiles so that I can see from a higher vantage point where this sniper is.
I'm afraid it's €3 to climb that spiral staircase. You know it works in cathedrals.
Yeah.
You're assuming there's a tower or something that you're going to climb to get a view of the...
Well,
okay, fine.
on top of the roof, even if it's just wherever, the highest point of this thing.
What about everybody else? Let's leave Sessions for a moment because he's weirded out with his weird... Oh, is that Johnny? If they open the... Fuck. If they open the thing?
Yes, they let me out. Yes. Did they? I thought I could smell something. They let me out because you needed an explanation of the word manse.
Oh, God.
That doesn't mean I'm going back into the broom cupboard after I've given it.
Okay, bye.
Are you sure? So, manse is a word commonly used in Jack Vance novels to mean mansion. The wizard's manse, the sorcerer's manse.
Okay.
And Jack Vance is, of course, the best fantasy and science fiction writer.
Ooh,
yeah, well, Vance's magic is the foundation stone of the D&D magic system.
Yeah.
The idea that you memorised the spell and then when you
author.
cast it, it disappeared from your mind.
Yeah.
Well, you've missed stuff.
Right. So, any chance for a quick recap?
Nothing in the middle. Very well.
Fuck all
as
happened.
quickly as we can. You left the place with the machine. You went into the manse.
Yeah.
You've left the manse. You decided not to take a long rest.
No.
Don't get cross. Decided not to take a long rest and get one thing done. You've got a hero's feast or something. You've got some extra hit points. I don't know if that's been updated, so you'll need to talk to Graham about that.
Has,
And as you left, you met Vajus, Bakruss's lieutenant, who told you that you should hot-foot it to the Temple of Bann Shivu, where a battalion of hobgoblin troops are pinned down by a sniper who is off to the west of the temple, stopping them making any progress towards the stadium and the western part of the city, which is where the ziggurat is. What have I forgotten? Oh, and there are civilians. This is the thing that's important. There are civilians that are trapped under this sniper fire that will need rescuing, which seems to interlock with your idea about trying to lift the morale of the citizenry. Anything I've forgotten, chaps? Oh, and then Sessions really wanted to go to the Temple of Bann Shivu. As soon as it was mentioned, you felt a strange compulsion. When you arrived, there was a fighting pit. There's a fighting pit in the middle of the temple with a statue in it, just like before in the Dark Cathedral. And Sessions approached the fighting pit. An aspect of Bann Shivu came out of the statue, merged with Sessions in the fighting pit, and Sessions has become another changed person with a giant chompy mouth. Basically, that's it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, really. Now, who wants to do what?
I'm casting invisibility on myself.
Yes.
Now, I want to take a peek out the door.
Sure.
The firing is coming from the end or about part way down? It's part way down, if I remember.
Let me put you on a new map. This encounter may not go well. I don't mean as in for you. I mean as in it might be a bit of a mess. Scroll to the top of the map, northern end of the map.
Yeah.
Those are the steps that lead down from the big double doors. I've placed your characters off the map, the northern end of the map,
Right.
to represent the fact that you're still within the cathedral. As you look out, you can see bodies of dead hobgoblins and civilians strewn around the street. The street kind of stretches away. Looks like one of these giant racing boars has escaped its harnesses and is running, kind of rampaging around and kind of... Well, I can't do it. Who can do a pig noise? Anyway, oink, oink.
Okay.
You can see a couple of hobgoblin troops that look like they've bravely worked their way up the street, a third of the way towards the end.
Okay.
Readers, we're looking at a very long map, or rather a very tall map that's running north to south, with a broad street running all the way through it, with buildings to either side, with stuff strewn about, carts that have turned over, dead bodies, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, give me a perception check, Burps, if you're standing in the doorway.
Plus 12.
13. It's a one always a fail on a skill. I don't think it is it?
I don't know.
Is it?
One's
I don't
always a
know.
Let's
fail
say
on
it
a what?
isn't.
On a save, yeah.
No,
On a check.
on a skill check.
Yeah, probably.
No, I don't think so.
How can we not know this?
One's always a...
It's not an
Critical
automatic
failure.
failure. So, you get a 13, which is enough.
Okay.
From beyond the first building to your west, so that's on your right as you peer down the street, from behind that, you can just make out what looks like some sort of tent structure. Maybe it's like the canopy of a market stall. And from that area, you can hear the snivelling of civilians.
I will pass that information on to my
Now, the next thing that
compatriots.
you can see if you wait for long enough, I'm going to point out on the map where it's from. God, this map is absolutely enormous. From the 1, 2, 3, 4, like the 5th building away from you to your right, that is to the west,
Oh, yeah.
there is an upper story window that has got a good view of the street and the doors of the cathedral. The window is open. It's nighttime, so everything is being lit by either your dark vision or braziers or whatever.
Yeah.
You can see some light in the windows of this building, but that window is dark, and not just normal dark, weird dark. And as you observe it, you see a kind of flash of light from that window, and a projectile streaks out towards... There's a hobgoblin hiding behind a cart quite close to you, taking some cover. That cover has availed it naught. It gets hit by one of these projectiles. It's like an arrow, but like an arrow of weird necrotic green fire without a tip, with a kind of strange, like the mouthy nasty bit of the alien, the thing that kind of darts out of its main head bit.
Yeah.
The chompy little bulb. The head of the arrow is like that. Maybe it's like a little mouth thing. It causes problems for the hobgoblin. First of all, it's a bit of damage. There's a sort of explosion of what looks like necrotic energy. This hobgoblin looks pretty wounded by the impact of that thing, but not dead, but it seems to be writhing on the ground in fear, like something else has happened to it.
I want to fly out, taking cover behind the house.
Yeah, move your mini.
Speed of 50. I'm invisible. Flying.
Yeah, the first house on your
The
right.
first house.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be
Yeah, you're in a
in
little
cover
alley.
from that window.
When you get to that point, you can hear from round that corner directly to your south the sound of snivelling civilian. The other thing that you can hear is voices to your east, that is on the far side of the street, looking past the houses and the trees. There are lizard folk. They're going, "This way! You'll be safe! Come on over here!" shouting from your east, off the edge of the map. This is a bit of a mini game. Readers, we've got a big map and there's going to be stuff going on. Frosthanger stretches to your east and west, whenever there are buildings and streets, and off to your east it looks like there's an area that seems to be occupied by lizard folk troops, and they are trying to encourage somebody, maybe the civilians that you can hear, to run towards them. To your west, Burple, things don't sound so good. You can hear horrible screams, demonic chortling, the flapping of leathery wings behind the buildings that you're kind of sheltering near.
Right.
The sound of screams. Sounds like to your west, bad. To your east, safe.
East safe.
Well, you think
Apart
safer. There are certainly lizard folk troops
Yes.
in that area. You know the lizard folk are allies. They're under Hillary.
Yeah, but there's still someone firing down the street.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You wouldn't want to stand in the middle of the street, but that's maybe the problem. The open street is lying between any civilians who wish to head to the east and the east.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They'd have to cross that killing ground. Maybe that's part of the...
Got it.
Yeah. Who else wants to take an action? Scaly? Buggy?
Gaily will follow Burple.
Burple. How can you follow Burple?
Well, all right, I'm going to run. Sigh.
In a random direction.
The brazen, absolutely shameless metagaming of this.
Oh, this is true. It is a shame. I'd forgotten he was invisible. If it seems to be the safest route, that is the route I will take. So I will start.
You don't know that Burple's gone.
No,
You don't
all
know
right,
where Burple is.
all right. Let me.
And it doesn't even really
rewind.
matter. We're in a mini game where we have to try and make our way down the street to take out
Yes.
the thing, and there'll be other
Yes.
stuff happening as we go. Yeah.
So evidently the killing ground is down the middle. So evidently I need to go down one side of.
You step up to this doorway. You can
Yeah.
see the same scene.
Exactly.
You can't see Burple.
No.
You can hear the sound of lizard folk
Yes.
off to your east, and you can hear the sound of horrible, shortly, chompy, demonic, flappy, demon nastiness to your west.
I'm going to head southwest to end up
Okay.
in cover, and I'm wanting to
Coincidentally heading in the direction of
Exactly,
Burple, even though you
because
don't
it-
know that Burple is
end up
there.
because it looks
No,
like it's the safest.
That's why you're going that way.
Yeah, and I'm going to end up.
Okay,
just
well, it
actually-
isn't the safest. The moment you emerge, you are shot at.
Of course.
Not enough, though. 18 is not enough.
No.
18 on a 2.
18 on a 2. By
Blimey.
extraordinary coincidence, you run to a square
Which is not far from.
right next to
It's
Burple.
pure coincidence, I promise you.
Sessions buggy.
Sessions Buggy, is that a new character? They've
How many hit
merged.
temporary hit points have I got from the
They're
Hero's Feast?
already
56.
on your character sheet.
I've got
Yeah,
56.
they've been added in.
Maybe not in. It was about 13 or 14, something like that. Wasn't that
Yeah.
many?
I've got the aid as well.
Oh, you got the aid as well, yeah.
Yeah. I've got shitloads of hit points. I'm resistant to necrotic damage. I'm invisible and flying.
Can you tell me where the arrows were shooting from?
Are you stepping up and looking out the door?
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
But didn't Burple tell me where they were being shot from?
Nope. 10. You can't see any arrows or any snipers or anything like that.
So I think these arrows are probably going to turn them into kiosk ghouls, aren't they? So we're probably going to be fighting a load of citizens that are turned into ghouls.
And they're just lying there currently.
On the assumption that those two hobgoblins most the way down the street, so the building's going to be beyond that. So I reckon it's probably the next building along. So I could do a fog cloud.
Oh, God.
Down there. Does anybody want that? Cover from the arrows?
The thing is, we can run around the side, but it's not a terrible idea, but maybe not yet. It's used its action, so it should be safe to run to cover this round.
Okay, I'll leave the fog cloud then. Okay, so I'm now running faster than Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
And I'm running... I can run 260 foot in a smooth move.
In a smooth move.
How tall are you?
I'm 3 foot tall, something like that.
Okay. So off
so
you
I'm
scuttle.
running-
Tiny little hairy figure.
Right down to that building.
It's like a
Fifth
gerbil
one
that's
down
been
on the
dipped
right.
in shit.
So you're going onto the eastern side of the street.
Yeah.
Tucking your way into an alley. As you do that, Buggy, you see stuff. There's a bunch of civilians that you scootle past. To your right, that is to your west, after the first building. And then after the third building, the building with a red and white striped awning out the front of it, there is another set of civilians hunkered down in the little gap between the two buildings, also looking snivelling and terrified. When you get to that point, there's two hobgoblins sheltered down in the corner of a building on the opposite side of the street, and one of them looks at you. Clearly he knows who you are,
I should hope so.
and he kind of points at the building directly to his south and sort of up.
Oh, yeah.
He points up there and he holds up one finger.
Oh, right, that's what I thought it might be.
What about
So I'll
Sessions?
just tuck a little bit further round.
Sessions, you're a floaty, chompy, fog lamp-eyed,
Yes.
multi-deity aspect blob. What would you like to do,
Well,
oh little floaty pontiff?
the floaty pontiff. I think what Sessions will do is he will decide. So 1 to 3, he's going to go left. 4 to 6, he's going to go right, or
Okay.
east and west. We'll
Yeah.
just allow misfortune to decide. We're going right. He will head to the west. He'll sneak his way around to about here and hide behind that carriage. He doesn't move very fast.
Taking shelter behind a cart.
And I see Scaly O'Toole.
There's a hobgoblin trooper just like 10 feet from you, hunkered down, and you can see Scaly O'Toole cowering in a gap between two buildings to your
Huzzah!
south.
Cowering, I think, is a really rather cruel way of explaining it.
well.
Taking cover.
This
He's
is
taking cover.
very exciting.
I think we would describe it as ample cover, as in there's a whole building and about half a mile between you and any trouble.
Damn right. Except it rolled an 18 on a 2.
And obviously there's Burple in between you and any
I
trouble
don't know
as well.
that. But I don't know that.
No.
How would I know that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
seems
It's
weird.
It's bonkers.
It's extraordinary,
Strange.
isn't it? It's just the strangest coincidence.
Weird.
That's everybody. Let's roll initiative.
Terrible score.
Buggy, what you get?
21.
Sessions, what you get?
14.
Parker, what you get?
7.
Scaly, what you get?
I got a 13.
Burple, what you get?
17.
Right. Buggy on 21, Burple on 17, Sessions on 14, Scaly on 13, Parker on 7. Buggy, 21? What do you want to do?
I'll move so I still can't see the window that we think the shooter's shooting from.
Yeah. Hard cover, effectively. You can't see it, it can't see you.
Yep, then I'm going to do a fog cloud.
Okay.
It's a
Yep.
20-foot radius, centered sort of in the middle of the...
Middle of the street in between you and the building?
Yeah, slightly to the west of the middle.
Something like that?
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
And then I'm running up to the edge of the building.
It's 20-foot radius,
Yeah.
so it's 20 foot high at its apex. It's like a dome, right? It's not a
guess so.
cylinder.
No.
The base of
Oh,
this
that's
window
fi-
is about 12 feet off the
that's
ground,
fine.
so it's in between you and the window.
Okay. Then I'm running up to the base of the tower in the fog just below the window.
You can see through a window into a room with a dining table. Looks like a kind of parlour. You can't see anybody in there.
Could I actually climb into the window or jump in?
I think you can jump into the window.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
you
just
can climb
jump
through.
into the building then. Got my axe out.
There's 2 sets of doors to your south, equally spaced along that southern wall. What I would call Blackadder doors. Indoor double doors, like sort of half width things. Is that you done?
Yeah.
Purple on 17.
I'm going to move south.
You go past these snivelling civilians. You can hear the lizard folk going, "It's absolutely fine if you come this way. You just have to be careful." And they're like, "No, we don't know you. We don't trust you."
I'm going to take the dash action, and I reckon I can move to just outside that building that Buggy's just gone in.
There's a building with a red and white awning out in front of it, and then another house. You fly over those 2 buildings. Between them, there are some more snivelling civilians looking like they're too scared to make the dash for safety. Are you going to the upper story?
I guess I'm peeking in, just, hanging below the
Upstairs.
window. But
Okay, well, there's a bedroom. We're going to do this theatre of the mind. It's in a state of some disarray. There is a body lying on the floor, that of a woman, elderly-ish, lying face down. There is a pool of blood kind of around her head, neck, shoulders, pooling into the carpet and onto the floorboards. To your left, that is to your east, there is a black, misty sphere of darkness. It's like a 10-foot radius thing, sat just inside the window that you think was the window where the sniper is.
Yeah.
What else do you want to do? Anything else?
Well, I've taken the dash action, so
On 14, it's Sessions.
I'm going to keep moving cautiously to the south.
You can see Scaly in between 2 buildings just ahead of you. You've got hobgoblin troops pinned down next to you.
So past the hobgoblin troops, I'm going to get them to move. Come on, lads, move down the street. Help get these civilians off the street.
They won't listen to us. They'll only listen to somebody they respect.
Okay, then I'll move down to past Scaly. That's about as far as I can go with a move.
As you dart across between the cover that you were in and the building that you've hidden behind, there are some lizard folk troops that you can see across the clear ground off to your east. Can nobody persuade these civilians to make a break for cover? They're not listening to us. I think they feel that we're some sort of, I don't know, strange creatures. I mean, yes, we are strange
Can I
creatures.
see
but-
these civilians?
Yes, you can see a civilian and you can hear them snivelling. They're around the corner from the building that you're sheltering in.
And we want them to go to the west. Is this correct?
You want them to go to the east.
So that means they'd have to run across the street and get shot at.
Okay.
So we're trying to stop the guy shooting.
Right. So I'm going to shout at those civilians.
Yes.
In about 6 seconds, it's going to be safe to run across the street. There'll be a large fog cloud between you and anyone shooting at you. I am Cardinal Sessions, the great cleric. You will have heard
Okay,
of me.
Give me a persuasion check. How many authority points do you have, Sessions?
How many authority points do I have?
You're earning them in Frostanger through your deeds as a mark of your repute amongst the citizenry.
Oh, okay.
There's
I
already
have-
a fog cloud blocking it off, isn't there?
Sessions doesn't know about that fog cloud, Buggy.
Can't you see it?
I have 6
Not from where
authority
he's-
points.
Right, so make a persuasion check and you can roll at +6 on top of that.
So my basic persuasion is
Oh,
27.
Okay,
hell.
you aced that. They look like finally somebody we can respect and understand is giving us some instructions. Whatever you say, oh floaty pontiff. They look a little bit taken aback by your strange appearance.
Floaty Pontiff puppet.
Do you want to do anything else?
And I've moved.
not for 6
I've
seconds.
dashed, and for 6 seconds later, I will.
On 13, it's Scaly.
Scaly using the dash action is going
Yeah.
to dash down to the house just north of the one where the action is all
Yeah.
happening, and that's as far as he can go.
Well,
And
there's a bunch of civilians there, Scaly.
hello.
They sort of scatter as you bundle through.
Don't mind me. Get out of the way.
They look mystified.
Get out of the way, you annoying people.
That's what you're saying.
Oh,
I don't like that
we're
very much.
supposed
No, of course it was.
Hey,
I'm
Get
peasant.
extra points for saving.
Excuse me, we're here to save you. If you'd kindly just step back. Or stay where you are, but don't mind me.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want to do. I'm not that
Don't know
bothered.
what's going
Just
on.
don't get in my way. Unless you're a human shield.
Like a supply teacher.
What
Yeah.
were you doing in your last lesson? We weren't doing anything, so he said we could all go home.
On 11, some stuff happens.
Stuff, eh?
Stuff. Emboldened by the presence of the fog cloud, a couple of hobgoblins join you, Buggy. You can see them outside the window on the ground floor. A hobgoblin has been hiding behind a cart for quite a while now, backs up and runs into the fog cloud and emerges looking confused. So you've got 3 hobgoblins with you, well, near you, Buggy, outside the building on the ground floor. Now, your civilians sessions, you asked them to break for the other side of the street in 6 seconds because it was going to be safe to move, right?
Yes. On my mark.
They seem to be getting themselves prepped to go on the B of the bang. They kind of shuffle up to the very edge of the building, waiting for your cue.
I think I've worked this out. We've got to get the civilians to the other side of the central street before the flying things come in from the west side and eat them all. So you need to try and get them all over on the other side.
On 7, it is Parker. Parker, I'm going to say you're at the top. You
Hurrah!
scoople up this
What
set
do I
of
see?
spiral stairs. You break out into a kind of parapeted flat area on the top of the building, and you can see what's laid out in the map before you. You can't see anybody that you know. You can see some
But
hobgoblins.
can I see the sniper?
You can't see a sniper. You can see a fog cloud that seems to be on the one corner of a building. You can't see past the fog cloud, so you don't know if there's anybody else near that building.
How high is the fog cloud?
Well, it's 20 foot high. At its apex, it's higher than the building, if not higher. You're looking down, you get a bit of an angle. I think you can see the roof of the building, and you can see a bit of the upper story. Give me a perception check. I'm going to be super nice.
9.
Yeah, not much else. You could hear nervous civilians. What do you want to do?
Well, the fog cloud is literally in exactly the place where it would have been worth looking.
Once
Yeah,
again,
but it's stopping any of the civilians getting hit by the arrows. It's,
Yeah, it's
You
good-
just need
it's
to
a
move
good
the civilians
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
other
I know,
side of
I
the
know.
street.
It's a good application of the fog cloud.
Of course,
oh,
of course.
Dan,
It's
don't
just-
say that for God's
Thank
sake.
you. I'll give you £5 later.
It's just I made the decision to go up to the highest vantage point, the point where the fog cloud is in my way.
I'm presuming you're hunkered down behind the parapet.
Yeah.
There are a few hobgoblin troops up there. Some of them are spread out over the roof looking in different directions. There's a couple near you. They're hunkered down, and one of them goes, "You can't see anything with that fog cloud."
At the north of the map, there are 5 green figures. These
Yeah,
are
they're
all
hobgoblin troops.
They're all,
all
hobgoblin.
pinned down.
Right.
Everybody on the map with a little green base is a hobgoblin trooper.
Yeah, okay. And looking down the east side.
East of our map,
Yeah.
the district spreads out. Lizard folk troops seem to be spread out across those streets, and it looks like they're under some modicum of control. Further away from that, you can see some stone giants working their way through the streets. They look like they're working their way west, sort of parallel to where you
Where are they?
to the street that you're trying to control. Way off the east of this map, you know that Telebir, as an emissary of Granite Bones, King Granite Bones of the Stone Giants, he was one of the little groups of troops that were working their way into the city as allies. So it looks like you've got a section off to the east of this map, which is under the control of allies. And then off to the other side, you can see that it's chaos. There are kind of sways of weird green mist floating through the streets, and these awful, bulbous, leathery winged demon creatures flapping about that seem to be picking up civilians and eating them at will. There are Kios ghouls and all sorts. So this street seems to be a dividing line between 2 zones. Friendly zone, dangerous zone.
Right. And in the context of the map where we are now, so these hobgoblins that are all pinned down.
Yes, they're
Can
all
I-
pinned down because there's a sniper to your south on this map, but you
Yes.
don't know where.
Okay. Well, I will give it another round.
So you're going to hunker down by the
Yes.
parapet, keeping a watching brief on the street.
Precisely, because we assumed that while we've been climbing up, there have been shots against these hobgoblins.
Yeah.
So there will be more.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and watch out for where those shots come from throughout the next
Gotcha.
round. and then I will take
On 21,
action.
it's Uncle Buggy.
All right. So is there a door in this room that I'm in?
There are 2 doors to your south, one on the left, one on the right. Little double doors.
I'll head to the one directly south.
Directly south. Yeah, okay. And you're going to open it?
Yep.
There is a chamber, looks like a little utility chamber, like where they would lay stuff out before they took it in for a meal. There's another set of double doors to your south.
I'll carry on going through.
You end up in a kitchen.
I'll come back out
Mhm.
and go to the other set of double doors. How many feet is that? That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 25, 30, 20, 30, 45, 50. I've done 65 to there.
Yep. There is a hallway, carpeted, and 2 sets of steps that climb up, as it were, back towards you and up to an upper floor.
Okay, well, it's 85 foot to the base of the stairs.
Yep.
Double movement, 95, 105.
Yep.
So I'm right at the top of the stairs at 100 and...
Yeah, there's a
10.
door there. Do you want to open it?
Yeah.
It opens up into a room exactly the same shape as the dining room you just came in through. A bedroom. It's a large double bed. Over to your right, there is a corpse, a dead woman lying face down on the floor with blood pooling around her head and neck. The northeastern section of the room is taken up by a misty sphere of darkness.
Okay, I don't know what you... I mean, I've been opening doors. I don't know whether... Or pushing, kicking them down or whatever. I mean...
They're just doors in a house. I mean, they're interacts. I mean, we'll be
Okay,
chilled.
well, I'll run, I've still got enough movement to run up and bash him then. Run up into the sphere and bash what?
Run to the
bash
sphere. Okay, roll me a d6. Okay, you launch yourself into this sphere of blackness, swinging your axe about.
Well, I'm not
And
going in
there's-
it. I'm just swinging my axe into it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, you swing your axe into it. There's nothing. It's just blackness.
Gonna have to nip in.
Okay, hold on, and nip in then. It's my second hit.
So you're going to jump in.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep the number you rolled on the d6 before, or do you want to roll again?
If that's what's... Oh, I don't know. That's the square I... Okay, well, I'll keep the number, but I'm hitting the square next to the window.
Okay. You go into the sphere. You're trying to keep your orientation. You kind of head diagonally towards the corner of the room where you think that the sniper must be. Swinging your axe around. There's nothing there. Nothing at all.
Can I swing again?
Sure.
Roll d6?
The d6 wasn't anything to do with that, but yeah.
No. All right, well, I'll swing into another square.
Yeah. Okay. There's nothing there.
Nothing.
Nothing. Maybe some furniture or something, but there's no sniper.
No.
That you done? On 17, it's Burple. Burple, you saw through the window Buggy come bursting into this bedroom, run up, swing his axe into the dark sphere. Then he just jumped into that sphere and that's it.
It's annoying. Okay, so maybe he's teleported.
Just moved.
But I'm looking in the room. Is he still in the darkness? Do we think?
Could be.
You've not seen anything exit the darkness.
I have one daylight spell. Do I use it here?
I reckon he does darkness at will, so you do your daylight.
Yeah, but daylight is a higher level than darkness.
You've seen this kind of sphere before. It's exactly the sort of sphere of misty darkness that you saw in the machine room
Yeah, I was just
when you were
thinking
trying to
that.
disable the unlife vortex. Doesn't look like a darkness spell.
It's like a teleport kind of thing. It's like a gate.
The vampires in the unlife vortex chamber were jumping between these
Yes.
spheres of
It's a
darkness.
little gate.
It looks more like a fog cloud of darkness, impenetrably dark fog or smoke.
So you jump into it, it takes you to another place.
Possibly.
So if Buggy comes out of it, he might figure out where he is. He might be somewhere else. But he was firing from there. I'm just trying to understand the sequence. Buggy got to the ground floor. He saw him up in the window, did he? He saw.
No.
He didn't see anything. Did he see the sphere?
He saw the darkness, yes, just like you did.
But it fired.
Mm-hmm.
Was the last we saw, and then we moved up, and there was darkness there. Is that a fair representation?
Darkness
Darkness
always
was there
there.
originally.
Remember he said the window was very
But when you
dark.
first exited, you could see it was
Right.
unnaturally dark through that window. From within that smudge of super darkness in that window, you saw a flash of light and a projectile fired at you.
Right. And when Buggy's in it, can he see out of it?
You asking, Buggy?
No, I'm trying to work out what to do.
Okay.
He's probably further down the street. Oh, I don't know. Do I keep going down the street, or do I also enter the darkness?
Well, these are the big decisions.
Do these vampires teleport between the areas of darkness?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yes.
Maybe he's targeting
So there
through
might be another one
a
within,
gate.
say, 60
Anyway,
feet or something.
Is the window open? Can I get in the room?
Yeah.
Like interact with an object to open it?
Yeah.
I'll fly into the darkness.
Roll me a d6.
5.
Okay. Then what do you want to do?
I don't know. I don't know what that does. That's quite worrying.
Everything seems just dark.
Got dark
Until you
vision.
get out of it and you're somewhere else.
Might be.
Give me a perception check.
Getting a 19.
You think you can hear Buggy sounding furry and confused. You can smell Buggy. Of course you can. Stupid.
Whereas I couldn't when I was outside. I'll step out.
You could, but it's stronger now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a gerbil dipped in shit.
You step back out of the sphere. Well, you're not in the same room that you were in before.
Right.
You're somewhere else. When you try and step out back the way you came, you hit a brick wall. If you follow that wall, then you emerge into a bedroom. It's 20 foot by 20 foot with a double bed with its head at the northern wall. There's a couple of doors. There's a couple of chairs. There's a carpet. And otherwise it's empty. You can still smell Buggy.
The doors are closed.
Yeah.
So I've teleported with you somewhere.
Yes. I will try one of the doors.
There's a big window at the head of the bed, by the way, that is open.
Okay, well, I'll
at least a crack.
look out.
You are looking out at... I'm going to put you back on the map. This encounter is an absolute fucking nightmare. You think you're way further down the street, looking out of a window back up towards the temple. There's a corner of a building in your way. You can see a statue holding a staff with a giant glowing emerald at the top of it. Then you can see a cart. You can see some trees.
I can see where you might be.
That would be
Metagaming
metagaming on an extraordinary level,
Yeah.
Scaly. But
Yeah, I'm talking about not as scaly.
Yeah.
Me.
we're using the map to show you what you understand of your environment.
Yeah, that's the
So I've got no
statue
problem with
the green
Burple
thing.
making guesses about where he might be.
Yeah, so how close am I to the cart?
Very close. You're looking out of a window it's almost directly above the cart.
Right, so here.
A window in the northern part of a building. Possibly, yeah. Could be right, yeah.
Okay, and there's no one there, but there are a couple of doors.
Yeah.
I will whisper, couple of doors, gonna try them. Hopefully Buggy can hear that. And then I will try one of the doors.
Which door do you want to try?
I'll try the side door.
There's like a little office or something, and there's like a little parlour, and then there's a room with a chest in the corner. There might be some kind of, I don't know, storeroom or something. There's nobody there.
Okay, and then I'll move to near that door.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Sessions on 14.
Okay. I'm presuming that I still can't see Buggy's fog cloud because the building...
You can't from where you are, no.
No, so I don't know it's there. So I will move to the corner of my building.
Yes.
I will cast another fog cloud in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Between the buildings that are south of the group of 5
Yeah.
civilians to give them cover to run across.
Something like that.
Yeah. And then I will
Okay.
shout to them, "Go now, run! Run for your lives!"
They look like they're going to run at the moment they get a moment to do so.
The lizard men
Scaly
will
on
look
13.
after you, and then I'm going to move the rest of my move.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, where are
So
you going to move? Sorry.
Keep
Sessions.
moving south.
As always, I interrupt you around.
So I get to about there, having cast my
And
spell.
Scaly on 13.
I think what Scaly's going to do is actually a similar idea, which is to turn
Okay.
around to the civilians next to him and
Mhm.
go, "Get out of here now!"
Are you pointing? Are you...
I'm pointing in
Just-
the direction of the east.
Okay. How many authority points do you have? Yeah.
I have 6 authority points and
Right.
I
Roll me a
got-
persuasion check.
and I've got an
Or you can run into...
intimidation
Intimidation, yeah.
persuasion of +9.
Okay. You're rolling at plus 15.
Wait a
Oh,
minute, I get a
also-
natural
And
20.
you also rolled a 20. Okay.
We're very good at this.
Natural 20.
They look like finally somebody's taken control, somebody that we can trust. We're going to go for it, but it's not their go yet. On 11, Parker, up on the ramparts, up on the roof.
Yeah.
You're up there with a couple of hobgoblins. One of them works his way up closer to you. It turns to you, Parker, and it says, "It's you, isn't it? You have the eye. Give me the eye, or I will take your
Fucking hell.
act." And we will find out
Oh,
what is going on there.
say.
Oh, who could that
How much
possibly
trouble
be?
Parker is in, and whether or not you can successfully rescue the civilians in the street of a dozen smiles when we pick things up next week.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. Dawn of a New Age and Age of Worms are copyright Wizards of the Coast. Dawn of a New Age was written by Tito Lietti. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!